Good evening, everyone. Welcome to another episode of Rebel Rewind. I'm Christopher. Over on this side of me is Eric here. Eric, how you doing? How was your week
Doing
been?
awesome. Pretty good. Pretty good so far, Chris. How's yours?
It's been good. Yeah.
Been all right.
Lot of stories. Lot of news still happening. We had the ACOLYTE last week, so we've kind of had time to sit and digest what happened and stuff because we did our episode last week on the Wednesday just so we could kind of talk about it a little bit. But now it's been out for a week. We can kind of like I said, digest and really think about what happened there and give it a rewatch. I'd like to give it a rewatch and watch like the whole thing straight through because I think it could play out like it could benefit but from watching it all back to back like a binge watch instead of waiting a week here and there. So
yeah,
so I think I'll do that at some point
I think
this
the
week.
story should be more cohesive, right? If you watch it,
I
like
think
a
so.
binge watch it.
Yeah, I think so. I got Patrick in the chat. Hey, Patrick. Patrick says hello.
What's
there.
up, Patrick?
Yeah. So, like, how do you feel about the ACOLYTE now that it's been out for a week? Like, is there anything that stood out to you? Like, I know you did a video on the Yoda where
yeah,
it kind of looked a little weird for you.
Yeah, no, there's something that looked off about Yoda, and I just kind of pointed that out. So.
Yeah, see, I never noticed that until you pointed that out, and then I watched it again.
Yeah,
and I was like, oh, you know what? Yeah,
because like how can the prequels Yoda look, like he did, but with a little bit longer hair, and then you get Yoda, who's supposed to be like 80 to 100 years prior to the sequels. He looks just as old as he does on the sequel trilogy, like Force Ghost Yoda. You know what I'm saying? So it just didn't look right. So I just did a little video about that. Just something brief.
Yeah.
I just thought it was kind of interesting.
Yeah, we got Cube Dude in the chat. He says, "Hi, gents. I enjoyed the second watch of the finale more than the first. Need to rewatch all the episodes. Yeah, that's what I'm gonna do too. Just because, like, I think if you watch it back to back, it'll just flow better. I think because they left you at the end of one episode, like for example, episode 2, well, more like episode 4 to 5. It left you in a spot where like it continued like right from that moment, right at the end of the previous episode. It's done that a couple times, so I just want to watch the whole, just give it a whole rewatch and see how it feels. I think it might feel better
Should
about
work
it.
better.
But I enjoyed it. Overall, I enjoyed it. So KG says, hey, thanks for hopping in the chat. One question, like, where would you rank it as far as like Star Wars live action series go? Because we've got 6 series now, live action. We got Mandalorian, Book of Boba Fett, Andor, Kenobi, Ahsoka, and the ACOLYTE. So, where would you place them all? Where would you rank them from top to bottom?
No, well, with this one, ACOLYTE, I think it'll be mid to lower tier, but
in the middle,
it wasn't bad. It's a fun watch. The action's just amazing. Action's kind of up there with the prequels, but it's just the story just kind of seems I don't know. I wasn't all that happy with it. It always seemed to go back to the whole twins thing. I'm like, why is that? But it's an interesting story. It's not terrible.
Yeah. So I would place it kind of like third for me. So Mando, Andor, and then ACOLYTE, and then Ahsoka. So,
well,
sorry, Eric, I got Book of Boba. Like, Book of Boba's down near the bottom with Kenobi.
No, it's that low.
Kenobi's right at the bottom for me. Kenobi's right at the bottom. So,
wow.
There you go.
No, Patrick says I rewatched the Kenobi series.
Yeah, but I feel like the Kenobi series was really lacking compared to the other shows. Like they could have done so much more. The de-aging especially on Anakin wasn't as good as it was in Ahsoka. So yeah, but so yeah, Patrick says he rewatched episodes 3 and 7 first, which are the 2 flashback episodes, and then he watched 1, 2, 4, 5, 6, and 8. So how did that flow for you, Patrick? Kay says third or fourth for me, pretty tied with or just above Ahsoka. Yeah, that's where I have it, just above Ahsoka. The twins were the weakest part of the story. Yeah, I agree. I mean, I still enjoyed seeing it. I like what they're trying to do there, where, like, to me it seems like they're setting up like a Force dyad there, but also now that we got Plagueis in the show, it's kind of giving Plagueis the twins are seem to be the way that Plagueis learns how to create life from the metachlor or from the use the Force to create life.
No, that's what
either that or maybe in the second season, maybe we find out Plagueis was behind it the whole time. Who knows? But they could go either way, and I think I'd be happy with that story. Patrick says it's up there for me. The Sith lore and the lightsaber fights, yes, absolutely. The lightsaber fights were amazing.
What boosted it up for me.
Yeah,
I'm a simple guy.
I really enjoyed it because, yeah, you're a simple man trying to make your way in the universe.
Give me some more lightsaber fights.
Yeah, no, but like I enjoyed seeing the different fight because like they were using more martial arts in their fights and not pulling out the lightsaber unless they absolutely had to, which I thought was really great because it showed how different they were in this era, right? So Kay says Andor, Mando, Acolyte, Ahsoka, Book of Boba Fett, and Kenobi. Yeah, so my ranking, I would just switch Mando and Andor. I felt that flowed better, but it would need a few edits. But overall, flowed much better. You ever hear the tragedy of Darth Plagueis the Shy? Right? How he was hiding in that cave there.
Was that the 14-year-old Plagueis?
Yeah, I mean, whatever. They changed his age, whatever. That's that's so minor. The twins' story was weak. Yeah, it would have been cool to see them focus more on Chimere, but I at the same time I get why they had the twins there.
It was just enough Chimere. He's an awesome character.
Yeah, Chimere is the next level, most ruthless villain next to Vader and Maul. I agree. I think I agree. The flip-flopping made me forget which twin I was watching sometimes. Yeah, I mean, I can see that too. How they were flip-flopping from side to side, and now one's good and the other one's bad, and then they switched.
7 and 8 episode.
I love Chimere. Yeah, Chimere and Soul were probably the best 2 parts of the series.
My favorite character.
Even though
Master
Soul,
Andara, I love Master Andara.
Yeah, Master Andara too. I wish we got more of her. But what do you say we jump into some news here, Eric?
Right. Let's go.
So first, I saw this article. A lot of stuff about Leslie Headland this episode. A lot of stuff about the Acolyte and stuff with the Acolyte being over. But this first article, Leslie says, "It's my show," in quotes. Leslie Headland hardly regrets igniting hatred for the Acolyte by exploiting one iconic character from George Lucas's original Star Wars trilogy. So now that the Acolyte season 1 is concluded after a much controversial run in several aspects, the Leslie Headland Star Wars series raised numerous headlines after receiving merciless reactions from the fans. While many of the fans accused the show of being woke, some were seriously offended for showing a major character from the George Lucas films in its finale. So, why did Leslie Headland bring back Star Wars iconic Jedi and the Acolyte? So, the Acolyte season 1 ended. The finale, the final scene, stunned the fans as they spotted Jedi Master Yoda from the back. Set approximately a century before the prequels, it was expected that he would not have any other permanent or prominent cameo in the series. But Leslie Headland remembered that one of the oldest Jedis from the George Lucas universe, can easily feature in the series.
Mm-hmm.
In the finale of the Acolyte, we witness Osha falling to the dark side, and Rebecca Henderson's Venestra Rowe lying to the Senate to protect the future of the Jedi. And then at the end scene, we see her enter a room, and she says, "Sorry to disturb you, Master. We need to talk." Which I think she's gonna probably tell Yoda the same lie that she told the Senate and all the senators and the Chancellor. So the scene concluded as the screen slowly gave us a glimpse of the iconic Green Jedi Master. So the cameo has sparked a lot of controversy among fans who claim that it directly affects the events of the Phantom Menace. Presumably, Rowe had explained everything to Yoda. However, in Episode 1, Yoda, along with the other Jedi Council members, were shown to be highly astonished as they believed the Sith were extinct. So fans cannot figure out how the Acolyte could create this major confusion. Did Yoda fake his reaction in Episode 1, or did he cover everything up despite being warned about the rise of the dark side? Speaking with Inverse, showrunner Leslie Headland cited an example from the Clone Wars and asserted that it's not the first time that the character has hidden something from the Senate. So in the Clone Wars, Season 6, it's revealed that he covered up the creation of the Clone Army and asked everybody not to say who was behind it. So it just felt to me like there was something fun to explore there. If we were allowed to talk about and do more seasons, there was a large conversation about including him. But I just thought, I mean, it's my show. So pretty much she threw him in because she felt like it. It's her show. She got the okay, obviously. But she goes on and says, she really had to fight over it, actually, but it was all part of her plan. I give her so much credit for getting it. Lucasfilm is just very, very protective of the brand and what happens to the characters. There's other stories being developed by Lucasfilm as well, so it all has to fit together and it has to make sense. So, in my opinion, I think it still fits together. I think it makes sense still. Like the article says, Leslie says in the article, it's not the first time he's hidden something or covered up something. And I haven't read the High Republic books, but as we were talking before we came online here, before we started our live chat, I had another live stream on the weekend where we discussed. I was talking to 3 other Star Wars fans who are avid readers of the High Republic books, and they said that even in the books, Yoda hides. There's been a couple instances where he's hidden stuff and covered stuff up. So, like you said before we came on here, I guess Yoda's not as squeaky clean, right, as everyone thought he was. But yeah, I do remember that scene in the Clone Wars as well, that episode. So, what are your thoughts on it?
I think, man, she does this stuff on purpose. She does this on purpose. She's poking the Wookiee.
Absolutely.
She's poking the Wookiee. It's not smart to do that. The fans they're going to backlash. You know what I'm saying?
No, but I mean, there's been backlash this whole season, but
yeah, she loves doing it though. But but I mean, if you can get away with it,
I think it makes sense.
It goes along with Yoda's character, I guess, But I hate to think that that he's keeping stuff like that. That's I don't know. It's very difficult to think of. Think of Yoda as squeaky clean.
Yeah. But do you think it makes sense if they went that direction with that character trait where he kind of like hid certain stuff?
Personally, I would like to think that he just probably, I think we were having this conversation before that he probably just didn't look past her lie, that he didn't think to go deeper and try to investigate a little bit more. That's what I'm hoping, that he probably just whatever she said, she took it. He took it, accepted it,
takes it at face value. Yeah. So that's kind of what I'm leaning towards. But if they do this other way where they just kind of throw in this that that he does know, and he kind of kept it secret. Like, it's not the first time, so it is in his character to do it. But I would like to think that, I would like to think that maybe Vernestra just lied to him as well, and he's just kind of trusting her, right? So,
or it could be
either way you go,
he's getting senile in his
either
old
way
age.
you go. I mean, but
he helped cover it up, but then like 100 years later, he forgot
about it.
The Sith.
Yeah. Either way, when we get to the prequels, he either didn't know because he trusted Vernestra's story, or he knew about it and he was just kind of keeping it hush hush because he doesn't want everyone to freak out about a Sith Lord, right?
Yeah.
So
now hopefully
we'll see if they do a season 2, which I hope they do a season 2. What do you think? Do you hope that they're doing a season 2, or?
I am so torn about that. I'm torn. I mean, I love to see continuation of the story, but there's some characters we had enough.
I'll have to ask you I'll have to ask you after you watch it a second time and just let it simmer. Let it. Yeah.
Let it simmer. All right.
Yeah. So, some guy Kevin says the story was a little messy for me, but I loved how much stuff it pulled in terms of lore, and of course the action was great. Yes, absolutely. One thing I didn't like about it was Basil, just because, like, especially in episode 8, he just I'm kind of confused why he ripped apart the wires in Soul's ship to make him to sabotage him from.
I heard it's because he was trying to stop. So. I heard he was doing that so he can stop Soul from firing upon was it Osha, right?
Yeah.
Or was it May?
May.
I'm confused.
Yeah.
So supposedly it was because he was trying to stop him from shooting her, but I don't think that was the case. But that's what I
it just seems
heard
weird
about it.
Yeah. Patrick says I agree. Soul and Chimere. Case is definitely both their actors give killer performances. Yes. Pod Racing Palpatine says hello there. Hey, Pod Racing Palps, thanks for hopping in. Ricky says you're. Hey,
what's up, Ricky?
Thanks for coming in, Mr. 5K. Now, hey, he's getting up there. He's moving up. Yes. Just remember us when you make it big there, Ricky. Good evening, E and Christopher. Cases whatevs people love and hate. Love the hate trend, yeah. Real question: what 3.75-inch Star Wars series, Revenge of the Sith, FL, Power of the Force figures and vehicles is the most economical, cheapest to buy as a collection or a lot? Looking to make some little guys amazing Christmas amazing.
Power of the Force, right? Or the vintage collection.
Yeah, Power of the Force. Yeah.
Those are still cheap.
I mean, I think you can still find like some of the old Kenner figures for relatively cheap on Marketplace and stuff. Probably older is better if you want to get the cheaper ones. Yeah.
Ross.
But I guess it depends where you are. It depends where you are. If you're in the States, check out Ross. They have a lot of good deals on figures there too. Or what's the other one that people are Ollie's?
Ollie's, yeah.
That people are, yeah.
Yep.
It's not like the Jedi have ever lied in Star Wars. Yoda and Obi-Wan lied like hell to Luke. Yeah, exactly, right? So I think they can tighten up, make a good season 2. I agree. There are many, many shows that don't have a great first season compared to the rest of their show. Sweet Christmas. If you're thinking on it this early, lucky little dude. Yeah.
Definitely check out Ollie's and Ross.
Yeah, your little guy's going to be very spoiled. Cool.
Right, on to my first story. So let's get on to this. The Acolyte Season 2, teased by showrunner, hints at major High Republic cameos. All right, so the Acolyte showrunner, Leslie Headland, teases what a potential Season 2 may have in store, teasing new alliances, further descent into the dark side, and familiar High Republic faces making appearances. She says, "I'm really excited about the prospect of May Vanestra relationship. I really love the idea that Vanestra now has in her hands a force-sensitive, powerful woman that is, at this point, docile enough that Vanestra would be able to educate and form an alliance with. So that was exciting for me to set up," says Leslie. "I already talked about Plagueis, and there's a bunch of High Republic Legend stuff that I'd be interested in folding into the show. I already talked to Lucasfilm Pablo Hidalgo about some characters from High Republic. We're still working that out." So to me, this little note that I wrote here, it's very interesting that she uses the phrase "folding into the show," like if she had to do a lot of work to make these characters fit into the storyline, like the appearances of Ki-Adi-Mundi, Darth Plagueis, and the discrepancy of their age. And she's talking about folding in, right? But to be honest, it was great seeing Plagueis and Ki-Adi-Mundi in the story, in the show. So, I mean, the word that she uses is folding in. I mean, I know she's talking about writing into these characters into the show, but more like folding in, like trying to find a way to get them into the show, like, you know, changing the dates on these characters, and you know, so they can fit into the storyline. I just thought that was kind of interesting. Point out that the words that she uses, but it'd be kind of interesting when you get some more of these High Republic characters in lore and into the story. You know, if we can get that, it'd be kind of interesting. You know, however they can get it in. I mean, I'm sure she'll find a way to do it.
Yeah, you know what, I trust Leslie with this. I think she did a good job. It shows that she knows her Star Wars. I know a lot of people would disagree with that, but you could tell, like, with all the lore that she brought in from other pieces of Star Wars content, like even Basil, like the smallest character this season. Mm-hmm. Yeah, Cortosis. Basil was like a creature that showed up in the a Han Solo novel back in like 1979. So like she knows her stuff, even though people like to dislike her and discredit her, but she does know her stuff.
I just thought that was very curious how she uses that word, you know. But I get what she's trying to say. I mean, I'm not going to hate on the idea of season 2, but we'll see.
Yeah. So Kay says, I'm real interested in the Vernestra Chimera storyline for the second season. Yeah, because the second season it'll be like her trying to track down Chimera. I would assume Plagueis wouldn't be happy about the whole Osha Chimera relationship that's starting there, because being a Sith, he only wants one apprentice, so he'll probably try and kill one of them or both of them, right? So, and eventually either one or both of them have to die or go off and do something different, because we know Plagueis eventually takes on Palpatine as a right. So
yep, exactly.
We'll just have to wait and see. Kay says, did you all like episode 5 or 8 better? I liked the duel in 5. The duel in 5.
Mm-hmm.
That's tough, because the duel in 8 was good too, with just him and Soul.
I gotta say 8,
it's tough,
but not by much. But wow, 8 was brilliant.
Yeah, it's tough. It's really they're like really close. I think I might be 8 a little more than 5 as well, just because like the bleeding of the crystal was an 8. Plagueis was an 8, so I think those things kind of push it just above episode 5. Kay says she does, referencing that she does know Star Wars. Do you think it was Plagueis taking over Osha when she had the mask on? I mean, I never thought about that, but I guess it could have been. Kay says same 8, but not by much. Yeah. Duel in 5, bleeding in 8. Yes, I would agree. The duel in 5, because like the whole episode was just one big duel. But yeah, all the cameos and the lore that we got in 8. Yeah. So let's jump into my next story here. So this next one, talking about some upcoming release dates for upcoming projects and projects that are still coming out apparently, and or have not been canceled. So now that the Acolyte is finished, we got a list of Star Wars movies, TV shows coming out 2024 release dates and further. So here's the list here, and all the articles we're going through are linked in the description below for you guys to check that out. But this is kind of a compressed short list, and I'm not going to go through the details of everyone, but these are the dates here. So we got Star Wars Young Jedi Adventure Season 2 starts August 2nd, and then again, I guess they're splitting the season in two parts, so August 14th will be the second part. Have you watched that show yet?
I watched maybe 2 episodes. I think
I've seen a handful of them.
Yeah.
I don't have time to. I just haven't had time to go back and watch it because it's not like a huge priority.
Yeah.
But what I've seen of it, I have enjoyed for it being a children's show. So that's the first thing to come out after this. The Acolyte is now finished here. Skeleton Crew comes out 2024. That's supposed to come out in the fall, I believe. Andor Season 2, 2025, possibly 2024. So maybe Skeleton Crew comes out sooner than the fall. But I thought there were rumors that Skeleton Crew was coming out like just before Christmas. So I guess we'll see. Ahsoka Season 2 is in development. Jon Favreau's Mandalorian and Grogu movie is slated for May 22nd, 2026, and we know they are filming now. They got the sets built. I saw a video on Star Wars Meg's YouTube channel where she actually mentioned that they're doing some time-sensitive filming for this series, or for the show, the movie, which if it's like time sensitive, it usually means like an actor needs to get his scenes filmed before they go off and do other stuff. So could that possibly mean Pedro Pascal is going to be unmasked in the movie at some point? So maybe they're filming all his scenes and then doing the rest later, because he can do the voiceover stuff from wherever, right? So
yeah, that makes sense.
Yeah. Taika Waititi's Star Wars movie is in development. James Mangold's Dawn of the Jedi movie is in development. Dave Filoni's Mandoverse New Republic movie is in development. Charmin Obaid-Chinoy's New Jedi Order movie is in development. Star Wars Rogue Squadron, the Patty Jenkins movie, status unknown, but I think we heard a couple months ago or a few months ago that it is back on the list of stuff that they want to make still. Mandalorian Season 4 / Book of Boba Fett Season 2 status unknown. Star Wars Lando movie status unknown. I think Donald Glover and his brother are writing the script, or writing the story. Star Wars Rangers of the New Republic TV series. This is presumed canceled. The untitled J.D. Dillard, Matt Owens movie, presumed canceled. Rian Johnson's Star Wars trilogy, presumed canceled. And these say presumed canceled because there were no official announcement that they were canceled. Kevin Feige's Star Wars movie, canceled. And then the David Benioff and D.B. Weiss Star Wars movie, canceled. So what are your thoughts on the stuff that are coming out? And for the stuff that are presumed canceled, is there anything that you want them to actually make from that list?
Well, I'm more interested in like the Dawn of the Jedi. I think that'd be kind of cool. We get the first Jedi. That'd be an awesome story to tell.
Yeah, I think so.
Of course, the Mandalorian movie and Grogu movie. That'd be cool. The canceled one for the Cara Dune character. That's unfortunate that they canceled that one out. That would have been kind of awesome.
Yeah,
if they would get to see that. But yeah, there's some good stuff, that's already greenlit, and then there's some stuff that I would like to have seen them, continue doing. But
yeah, I'm still hoping that Rian Johnson gets his trilogy. I know,
Yeah.
I know you don't. I
I
know you
don't.
don't agree with me,
Yeah.
but I love the Last Jedi. I thought that was the best one of the sequel trilogy. I love his other work. Looper was fantastic. Glass, how or what is it? The mystery movies that he did, Glass Onion, and the sequel to that one or the prequel to that one, whichever it was.
Mm-hmm.
Knives Out, and
Knives
Glass
Out.
Onion. They were both fantastic. They were incredible. Cases got to head out. Sorry, I couldn't chat longer. Thanks for hopping in the chat though, Kay.
Thanks. Awesome
Yeah,
comments.
so I've loved everything of Rian Johnson's work that I've seen, including The Last Jedi. So I really hope he gets to do this a trilogy at some point. And I think he mentioned he would like to do like untouched territory, right?
That
So away from the
that'd be great.
Skywalker saga, which is
That'd be great.
yeah,
That'd be great. Something that's another, Lost Galaxy or something. Just find something else. Just don't touch the Skywalker saga anymore. I know they're not doing anything else on the Skywalker, story, but do something totally different. I wouldn't mind. I guess hearing what he got to say. I mean, he's got an awesome his the way he films his movies and the stories and things like that. Interesting.
Yeah.
At least the other stories, right? But what he did with the Last Jedi, I didn't care too much for. But visually, beautiful movie.
Yeah,
But
I mean, like I said, I loved it. It's my favorite of the sequels. So
I can't, man. That'd be amazing to see the Dawn of the Jedi. Let's go back on that one. That's pretty epic. Can't wait for that. Yep. So, all right, on to my next story here. So, Leslie Headland begs the Acolyte viewers to launch social media campaign for second season. Yep, that's the story right there. The Acolyte showrunner Leslie Headland begged viewers of the show to launch a social media campaign in order to convince Lucasfilm and Walt Disney Company to greenlight a second season. Headland was asked by Maggie Lovett, "What do fans need to do to ensure they get a second season?" Headland replied, "Truly, any online support and love you can send the show. If you enjoy the show and you want to see more of the story, any support you could give the show on social media platform would be super helpful." She continued, sending love to the cast. Also, we've seen what Hayden Christensen went through. He's getting the love now, but give the love now if you enjoy the performance. So if you enjoy the performances, get on social media and let them know that you love them. And the story continues on and a little bit more, but it says it's unsurprising that Headland is begging for a social media campaign in an attempt to get a second season greenlit, given the show's viewership numbers were not that good. So I wrote a little note here. It says, I don't know about how you feel about the story, Chris, but if people want to support the show, I think it should be something organic, right? And I'm all for asking support for the actors, right? The actors, they did a phenomenal job, and they need all the love.
Yeah, I think so.
They did, just like Hayden Christensen got some heat from portraying young Anakin Skywalker. But show love to the actors, right? And support and ask your fans to support the actors. But a second season should only depend on how the show performed, because this is money we're talking about, right? Millions of dollars, into these shows. So if the first season didn't pay off, that should be the determining factor if we get a second season, not a social media campaign. I don't know.
Oh yeah, absolutely.
But
I agree. It should have to do with the viewership numbers. Like Disney and Lucasfilm, they're not going to be looking at all the people who are hating on the Acolyte and review bombing the episodes before they come out. Like they're not going to be paying attention to any of that. They're going to be looking at the real numbers. They're going to be looking at how many people tuned in week after week, which I'm kind of curious what what those numbers are, if they're going to release those soon or if they already have. But they're going to look at the real numbers, right? They're going to see like how many people viewed and watched every week, and a lot of the people who are making comments like that they hated it and it's garbage show, that a lot of those people are still watching week to week still.
Mm-hmm.
So
there
really,
was some
like,
flux though in viewership though.
Yeah,
I don't know about
like
how much.
The only way, the only way, like, for people who don't like something, the only way for them to kind of ensure that there's not a second season of something because you don't like it, don't continue to watch it. Like,
mm-hmm.
that's all you got to do, right? But
yeah,
if you're watching it and then you're complaining and then you're watching the next episode, like,
you're helping boost
they're
the
probably
numbers.
still going to make another season. Yeah, you're boosting the numbers still. So I would be very surprised. Actually, I would be very surprised if we didn't get a second season. Case is didn't it still have higher viewership than Andor? I'm not too sure. I'm not even sure where you would look that up.
Yeah, that's
do you have any idea where you would look that up?
Nope, I have no earthly idea. No earthly idea. Nope. That's a good question.
Let's see if I can find something here. ACOLYTE. Nielsen rating analyst from a TV industry guy.
To me, it's like it should all depend on if the money was there, right? If you got the views, people are sitting there watching it, and if it gets the views and if it did more views than Andor, and Andor got greenlit for a second season, and give this one a second season.
Yeah, that's the thing.
Be all about numbers.
If it's more than Andor, and Andor got a Nielsen rating,
rating.
Yeah.
Patrick,
I guess we'll just have to wait and see. Well, we will have to wait and see.
Yeah, I heard the Nielsen rating. I heard of that. So that'd probably be
so let's jump into my next story here. Yeah. So my next story. So we got images of, or like a poster, a leaked poster for Star Wars: The Skeleton Crew. It came from a product at a hobby shop, I believe, is where the image came from. But it's a better image. You can see the new droid a little bit better. You see the younger characters in this one, and the leak kind of puts a spotlight on the show's mysterious droid character. So a new look at the Skeleton Crew has just found its way online, and believe it or not, it was discovered at a thrift store. However, we've confirmed it's a real deal. It has to be one of the strangest sources of a leak to date. Though we're not complaining, as it offers a new look at the show's leads. The presence of those skulls is interesting, and we're confident that the cloaked figure leading the four youngsters is Jude Law's mysterious Jedi. I didn't know he was playing a Jedi in this.
Yeah.
As for that mysterious droid, we believe he's accompanying the crew on this adventure and is likely called SM-33. He resembles a skull, and we can't help but wonder whether that's where the name for the titular crew comes from. Skeleton Crew takes place around the same time as The Mandalorian, and is expected to tie into that and Ahsoka. How important it will be to the wider franchise and Dave Filoni's eventual crossover event remains to be seen. Sharing some hints about the Disney Plus series earlier this year, executive producer and director John Watts said it's about a group of kids that find a mysterious secret on their planet and accidentally get lost out in the galaxy, and it's the story about them trying to find their way back home. So it sounds cool. Here's the image of the poster that was found at the thrift store, which is crazy.
How did that even get out? That's weird.
Yeah, right. So you can see the two the skulls there. You can see the droid does kind of resemble a skeleton head. You got a clearer picture of the four youngsters, and then in the silhouette there, you got, I think they're saying the character at the front of the line is Jude Law's character, which is a good assumption there. What do you think of
Comment.
this? Like, can you imagine like you're out?
I'm
Can you
sorry. I'm
imagine
sorry,
like you're
Chris. Check
out?
out that. I'm sorry.
Hey,
I was saying check out K Gee's last comment.
Magic School Bus in space. Yeah. Right. I mean, I think they're saying the Goonies. It's similar to the
Yeah,
Goonies. So I'm
that's
actually
hilarious.
real intrigued about the ambulance style it's supposed to have. Yeah. Uh, TBF and/or season 2 was greenlit before the first season even came out, though. That's true.
Wow.
How can people say it isn't getting viewed when nobody outside Disney has seen all the numbers? Yeah.
Show us the numbers.
Right. I'm curious how well it did, because I would imagine like even with the haters, the haters are still watching it, and they're watching it and making their critiques, their criticisms and stuff.
Yeah.
He has the Force. Not sure if it's Jedi though. Yeah, I don't remember reading anywhere else that he was a Jedi in this series. So, but yeah, no. What do you think? Like, could you imagine like you're in a thrift store, you're at Ross or whatever, and you see like the poster for the upcoming Skeleton Crew, and like we haven't even
Yeah.
gotten a trailer yet. Could you
Exactly.
imagine?
Like, how did this get leaked out, man? How did this poster get out
Yeah.
in the wild? That's
So like, what do you think?
strange. That's probably out there in
Is this
California or
getting you a little
something.
bit? Yeah. Is this getting you a
No,
little bit excited for the show?
yeah, I'm all for the show. It sounds interesting. It kind of reminds me of a naked 3PO and K2SO mix, but in like a gold color.
Yeah. Yeah.
But,
Yeah.
yeah,
I can see
it's
it.
cool. Yeah,
Yeah.
I'm
Yeah.
psyched
I'm
for it.
excited.
I'm happy. Yep.
Yeah. Let their
Good
hate
thing.
force the algorithm in your favor, right? Yeah. Should be interesting to get this series. I'm I'm almost wondering if we get a trailer for it for San Diego Comic-Con.
It should be coming out sometime soon. I don't know.
Yeah, I don't know.
But
I think San Diego Comic-Con
big
wouldn't be a
convention.
bad place to drop a trailer, right? Like it's a big convention.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yep.
So
Yeah. We'll see when we finally get that. All right. So on to my next story here. Manny Jacinto reveals the inspiration for Star Wars New Sith lightsaber. Jacinto was born in Manila, Philippines, before moving to Canada as a child. The lightsaber he
yes,
used in the ACOLYTE,
Canada.
right, serves as a nice homage to his place of birth. As Jacinto mentioned, some forms of Filipino martial arts, such as the Sinawali technique of Eskrima, focuses on a fighter using two weapons at the same time for both blocking and attacking. The stranger's own fighting style is a clear homage to Eskrima. As Jacinto mentioned in the interview, both he and Leslie Headland wanted to give the stranger a lightsaber that helped show he was willing to fight dirty and achieve that goal perfectly. The moment when the stranger separated his blades and used them to kill Jackie Lon, he cemented himself as one of the most ruthless Sith Lords in in Star Wars. His lightsaber embodies the core values of the Sith: power and victory at all costs. So, how amazing was it when we saw that when he was able to snap the back end of from the main lightsaber and use
Yeah,
that one as a weapon? That was amazing. I had
yeah,
never seen. I mean, we've seen the dual lightsabers, right? But this was like something totally different. It's like a hidden
yeah,
weapon
and
that took her
that
off
was
guard. You know?
that was probably one of the best parts of the last episode where he took it apart and he was fighting Soul with the two, and then
Yeah,
he threw them both, and he goes in for the punch, and Soul uses
yeah. That was.
uses the force to like push everything away.
Oh man, Soul was keen at what was going on around him. Man, that
Yeah,
was epic scene. Yeah. Oh
yeah,
man, I got to revisit that episode again. No, man, that's
yeah,
pretty cool, and it's pretty neat that he's using his Filipino martial arts. You know, what they use in this, what is it called, a schema, to get some kind of so to get this inspiration for this lightsaber with the
yeah.
dual lightsabers, one shorter, one tall, one bigger. It's pretty cool. and it's awesome they was able to come up with some kind of agreement to use this as as part of this character's weaponry.
Yeah, I agree.
Yeah. Fellow Canadian.
Yeah, no, yeah, Filipino Canadian. Clan Brandalorian. Brandon says,
"Hey,
what's good,
up,
boys?" Hey, Brandon. Patrick said they may wait until October for NYCC to drop the Skeleton Crew trailer. I mean, if it comes out in the fall, you would think they would release some sort of teaser earlier, like a lot earlier than that, right? So, Patrick says, "What's up?" I'm hoping we get the SC trailer during D23. I mean, yeah, that's coming up too, so they could do it then too. I need Chimera's lightsaber, and I want Soul to have the bleeding effect. That'd be cool. Would make a cool saber to own.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, poptography, yes. The Perry blade was sweet.
Theory Saber need to get on that.
Right?
Yep.
Oh, very cool. Yeah, it's a nice little tie into his Filipino heritage, right? So.
Mm-hmm. Yep.
So jumping into my last article here, the Acolyte's Manny Jacinto teases potential romance in season 2. So the Acolyte came to an end last week, and many fans are eager for season 2 announcement. The finale of the Acolyte featured a lot of twists and turns, and it ended with Osha going off the train with Chimera, aka the Stranger, despite the fact that Chimera did some pretty bad things throughout the season. Many fans are shipping their romance between Osha and between him and Osha. The Oshmere shippers felt pretty validated when the show ended with the duo together, especially considering Chimera took Osha's hand in a pretty romantic way. While a season 2 hasn't been confirmed yet, Jacinto is teasing a possible romance in the future between Chimera and Osha. So he was saying in a interview with GQ, in the fan art I've seen, there's a good amount that implies something between Osha and the Stranger. That's something that people, I think, have been yearning for in this genre, or at least in this IP. And I love that people are honing in on it and encouraging it. So I think people can look forward to more of that. Possibly, if people want it, we can explore that in a subsequent season. While fans will certainly be excited to hear this, the Acolyte showrunner Leslie Headland recently told InWire that Osha and Chimera are probably doomed, which makes sense because eventually Plagueis is going to, like I mentioned, Plagueis is going to take Palpatine on as an apprentice. So, yeah, their story doesn't seem like it's going to end well anyways. So,
yeah, exactly.
But I think it could be cool to see a romance from like on the dark, like a dark side user romance, two dark side users, because we haven't seen that in Star Wars, right? We haven't seen two dark side users in some sort of romance in the Star Wars universe. We've seen like Anakin and Padme, so a light side user and a senator. We've seen
Forbidden
Kenobi and Satine. We've seen we've seen all these protagonists, but we've never seen the a romance on the where it's like two antagonists, two Sith Lords, two dark side users. We haven't seen any of that before, so it could be interesting to see. But what do you think about it?
Well, putting it like that, I think that does sound pretty interesting. Something worth something like worth looking into. Most definitely. No, so yeah, I can see that young love. That it's bound to happen. They're on an island by themselves, and well, except for Mr. Creepy Plagueis,
right?
Looking around the corners, but yeah, no, I think it's interesting if we explore that a little bit. That'd be kind of cool. Yeah, we don't get that. We don't get much of that. Most definitely.
Yeah. But, Patrick says, "Got to run, fellas." Thanks for hopping in, Patrick.
Thanks for jumping in.
Kay said, "I need more time to warm up to the Oshmere." And this is coming from a huge Raylo. I mean, you could go Oshmir. You could be Kaisha, maybe Oshmir, Kaisha. I like the Ring of Oshmir. Seriously, where would you look for a new and packaged 3 3/4 collection of figures and small vehicles in, say, the City of Champions? Where would you buy? Who do you recommend in town? Go Oilers. If you're in Edmonton, then Kiko Collectibles is good. They have a lot of older stuff and they're reasonably priced. Or just look on Marketplace for like Power of the Force figures, because people are selling them on there. But also some of the toy shows that they put on in town. The Edmonton CollectorCon is a good one. I think the next show is in the fall, so just before the holidays. I'm all for some dark side romance, so yeah, right. That could be cool. It could be neat to see. Is your name just one? How? But anyways, moving on.
All right, I think I have my last story here, and if anybody in the live chat want to add in any of these other additional characters that come up to your mind, come up in your mind, I'm gonna go over 10 possible characters we can possibly get from a season 2 of ACOLYTE. So if you guys think of any additional characters or any of these characters that I say here, which one would you prefer to see or would be more hyped to see? All right, so if a second season of ACOLYTE is indeed announced, audience will expect to see more characters from the Skywalker saga to appear there, especially after the epic cameo from the season finale. We got Yoda, of course. From powerful Jedi Masters to Sith Lords, these Star Wars characters needs to appear in the next season of the ACOLYTE. So we got number 10, Darth Plagueis, to revisit him again, see how he looks actually outside of the cave. Darth Tenebrous, that's who I thought we were going to see. Darth Tenebrous.
That's who I thought we were going to see as well.
Yeah,
I thought it was going to be Tenebrous showing up, but Plagueis is cool.
Yep.
Plagueis is cool. Everyone who knows who Plagueis is, right? Whether you've read the books or not, that he's mentioned in the prequels. So,
all right, next one up, we got Jabba the Hutt. That'd be a fun character to revisit.
That could be cool. That could be cool. Jabba showing up as well.
Darth Bane in a flashback.
Yeah.
Plo Koon, because he's got the age. He's supposed to be there. He's around in the galaxy.
Yeah.
Master Yoda, visiting Master Yoda, and I hope we get an actual. They make a puppet, a younger puppet with the hair, and that goes back to the video I was talking about. We were talking about a little earlier, but yeah. So Master Yaddle, like to see Master Yaddle. Maz Kanata, she's around.
Yeah.
Huyang, I saw another character I thought we were going to see.
That's who I wanted to see. I wanted to see Huyang like at the scene at the temple. Like even if he was just in the background, or maybe they collected her light. Maybe they collected the stranger's lightsaber, right? And they went to him and said, "Oh, can you analyze this or whatever?" It's
see
that's who I wanted to see.
Exactly. It's like he's there. I mean, why not use him? They just use him for the Ahsoka series, right? Why not use him? All right. So the last one we got is Darth Sidious origin story, a younger Darth Sidious, Palpatine.
Yeah.
So
I believe they would have to do like a time jump to bring Palpatine in. They would have to jump ahead of quite a few years.
That's not what I had originally thought, that they were talking about. If they did a second series, it was a second season. It was going to be a time jump into the future.
Yeah.
Now I would love to see that. I don't want to. I don't want to continue with Osha and May's story. Chimere's cool, but we can just jump ahead in time after Plagueis got rid of him. So, and it's continue a young Palpatine. it'd be an awesome story to tell.
Yeah, I think so too. What do you think in the chat and the comment section if you're watching this on the replay? Let us know which character you would like to see in a season 2 of the Acolyte if they do a season 2.
Even if it's not
that's a solid list.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think it's a solid list though. Like, because
how about you, Chris?
For the most part, these characters are all alive aside from Darth Bane, but that could be a flashback, like it said. Like I said, Tenebris, which Kay said Tenebris if still alive, but
I think he's probably still alive at this time during the
I would think so. Yeah, I would think so. Yeah, I would like to see Tenebris. Jabba the Hutt could be cool, right?
Hey, might as well just throw in Maz Kanata also.
I mean, why not? Get another tie into the sequels, right?
Yeah, because you're not really selling the sequels. I mean, it's there, it's canon now, supposedly. So why not bring some of these characters that are live from the sequels into it?
Yeah. Kay says, I loved watching everyone's reactions to the Plagueis reveal. Too fun. They can use Hu Yang to identify Chimere. Yeah, right? Like Vernestra can... yeah. One says more Rancor species. Kay says the list is good. Yeah, Rancor, it's just like I said, it's a solid list. I think all of these characters, aside from Darth Bane, are alive during this time period, so they wouldn't have to like change any birth dates or anything. Yeah, Jabba, Tenebris, Maz. They brought in Yoda. Yaddle would be a great one. I would love to see Yaddle. Got to run for real this time. Thanks, guys. Thanks for hopping in the chat, Kay, and everyone else. Thanks for hopping in the chat. We appreciate you all. Let us know in the comments, and let us know in the comments and in the chat here what you think of these articles.
Will be alive.
Chewbacca, yeah, he might. Yeah, he would be, wouldn't he?
He's a few hundred years.
Yeah, he would be. So that'd be a nice tie-in. Yeah, thanks everyone for watching. I think that'll do it for this episode of Rebel Rewind. Join us next week when we have some more news and rumors and articles to discuss. And take care. May the Force be with you, and we will see you next episode.